Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Late Night Craft Talk. We are back. We are live again.
Hey, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome, everybody. I'm going to try changing my mic settings.
Should I talk in my slow, low voice?
You what?
Should I talk in my low voice?
I'll talk in my voice if you talk in yours.
You should talk in your low voice because everyone seemed to like it last week.
I'm going to just talk in my masculine voice.
Okay, just talk in your masculine voice, but talk in a low tone.
I'm going to talk in the low tone.
Yes, because it's just calming.
It's calming. All right, Maya's on.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome, El Presidente. Hello.
Yes, you are on time.
Yep.
You actually
All right,
logged in at 9:50. You have a whole minute to be on time.
She's I think Maria messaged just like 2 minutes before going live tonight. We're like, yes, we are. We always try. All right, sharing's caring.
Yes, everyone, please share.
I'm doing it.
Share.
Let's see.
Oh, that's interesting.
What's that?
There's a pizza place that made Shamrock Pizza.
Shamrock Pizza?
Yeah, I mean, we made a heart pizza, but apparently there's a Shamrock Pizza.
When is St. Patrick's Day? I forgot about that.
17th, I think. Isn't it
15th?
Look at James. It won't show it.
No, it's doing the green chroma key thing.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, I have shared. Sharing is caring. And of course, Maya, the El Presidente, is right on the El Presidente's job of shared.
He's an exact example of what it should be like.
Maya, the perfect person. All right, we got a few people watching now. Let's get some introductions going on. And with that, I've done my part. Looking at, we did the like soft voices.
Yes.
We should do like a look-alike for an excerpt. Oh, look at that. Maya's on the job. Green clovers. All right. When is St. Patrick's Day? I'm going to Google that right quick.
I think it's the 17th.
17th?
I think it's
I'm looking it up. Okay. Let me ask Google. What day is St. Patrick's Day? And Google says the 17th, this Monday. Wow. Everybody wear green.
I told you didn't believe me.
Well,
I told you it's the 17th.
You acted like you weren't sure.
No, I told you. I said it's the 17th. I said I'm pretty sure.
Like a question mark in your voice.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to play with the computer again. We're kind of lagging on the video again this week on the intro. Dang it. Because I monitor from another monitor that's watching the stream live, and it's lagging. Does the video lagging on your end?
I don't know.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You got to play with that. It's issues. It's so random. Sometimes I wonder if it's a StreamYard thing because I don't get this other platforms. All right. Anyway, so we were looking.
Oh, by the way.
Yes.
Svea was right.
I already pointed that out.
Well, I'm just pointing it out again.
Oh, okay, so you weren't listening.
No.
Yeah, you weren't listening.
I have actually. My phone has been going crazy on, and I have to. I'll talk about it in a moment. Why? But it's just my phone's been going crazy, and so I just like.
Got it. We were doing like the quiet voices that made me think of like talking a romantic voice. I've looked up quotes, the romantic quotes. You should look one up and let's try doing the romantic voice.
Okay, hold on. But it's not romantic. It's meant to be calming.
Well, it's kind of romantic because it calms you down and makes you like, oh, isn't that a form of that?
No, I don't think it's really romantic. I don't think it's meant to be romantic. I think it's just meant to be like calming. Okay, ASMR is like about like being calming.
ASMR.
Yes, that's what Wendy said last week.
Okay. So, okay. Let me try reading a line from Romantic Line here. Love is the flower you've got to let grow. To love and be loved is to feel the sun from both sides. Is that it? No?
It's okay.
It's okay. All right. Should I go like more Fabio style?
No, you're supposed to be very like quiet. And if you get to like, it's not about being like, it's how to explain it. Can someone explain what ASMR means to James and I?
Yeah, it's apparently unculturally sheltered here. All right, let me try another line here. In all the world, there is love for you like mine. Wait, I messed up. In all the world, there is no love for you like mine. Is that calming?
I guess.
Well, you tell I don't really have a romantic side. All right, let me try this one. Wait, I should probably do. This is a Velociraptor that just went by the window. Again.
Really? Better watch out.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Let me try. I want to try doing the Morgan Freeman thing a little bit. True love. Stories never have endings. Love is shown more in the deeds than in words. Love is not a volunteer thing. No.
Okay,
Yeah,
this is what
about as romantic as a rock.
This is what ASMR means.
Okay.
Autonomous sensory meridian response. ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, a term used to describe a tingling, static-like, or goosebump sensation in response to specific triggering audio or visual stimulation. So probably the idea is that when you're saying, let's see what the AI says. What does ASMR mean? It refers to, okay, wait, hold on. That's not what I'm saying. An ASMR video is designed to trigger a relaxing sensation in viewers, often described as tingling feeling that typically starts at the scalp and moves down your neck. So basically, like it's talking gently and quietly to kind of calm someone down. It's not talking sensual.
Okay.
Or trying to talk like sexy.
Yeah, I guess it's weird because, like, if I'm like, want to calm down, I'll throw up on a big projector. I'll throw up like the gunfight from Open Range.
Okay.
Or the big fight in one of the Expendables movies at the end of it.
Okay.
I'm weird.
Yeah, you are weird.
I must be a violent American. All right, we got some viewer comments to catch up on. Did the weather get you where you are? This weather is super cold today and raining off and on. Yeah, it's cold down where we're at. It's like January weather in mid-March.
It was pretty crazy actually, because yesterday we have a canopy covering my baby plumeria nursery, and it got blown over and kind of flung to the side, and luckily it didn't break a window because it was upside down. See, James. Wendy, James is like, I'm just going to talk in sexy voices.
Well, it calms people down, makes them go, oh. It's supposed to be influencing. Meets roughly the definition. Gotcha. Well, we got to count down real quick.
Oh, my goodness.
Start a show tonight.
It's almost there.
Yeah, 40 seconds tonight, folks. We are doing Aging Parents. This is kind of a... Oh, there's Baby Yoda.
Oh.
That's our big moment tonight, folks. We're having kind of a serious discussion. We're gonna have some fun with it, but we got one that's gonna ring a bell for a lot of our viewers, especially you Gen Xers. Ready for countdown?
Yes, we're almost there. Yes, my plants are okay. Thank God nothing broke, because that would have really sucked.
Svea, guess what?
I'm sorry.
10,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2,
1. It's starting to start show.
Showtime. It's time for Late Night Crap Talk with hosts Svea and James Hermes. On tonight's show, Aging Parents, a journey of grown children with their parents. This was overheard during a conversation at a senior citizen center. Whatever age I am is the new 30. It's time to start the show. Dance with you know you're dance with your friends alive, because if you're alive, your friends will dance because they're alive too.
Yes.
Messed up that 80s tune reference.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so welcome to our show. We do this show, Late Night Craft Talk, every Friday night from 10 to 11 p.m. And we have been doing this show since April of 2020. So there's lots of topics that we talk about, lots of different things. We have guests, we talk about all kinds of things. So if you like the show, please like and subscribe to our Facebook pages, our YouTube channels, our Twitch channels. Follow us on Instagram. Follow Dancing Bear on Twitter, X, and we have all kinds of social media, so follow us. We do this show to, keep our business out there, make sure everyone doesn't forget about us. Because remember, supporting small local businesses actually keeps things going and supports your neighbors and supports your people that are close by. So please don't forget to support your small businesses. Dancing Bear and Elk Rec Chairs are both small businesses. So we really appreciate your friendship, your support, and we work really hard to take care of everyone.
We're little businesses with big hearts.
Yes, exactly.
Matter of fact, my arm has gone so far that it'll reach over to Svea's screen.
And I'm going to go like this.
Don't do that. It hurt. You're supposed to make your arm go appear like. Yeah,
but as I do that, it's not going over there.
No, you're supposed to sneak it this way and make it go. See, I'm going to reach this way and you make it go over that way.
Right.
See? Look at my arm with my fancy nails. It doesn't
work because it looks like my hand.
It does. So what? So if I have fancy nails.
I know I have fancy nails.
See mine?
Yeah.
I don't have a CGI that can work that quick.
Yes.
I like that. I like Maya's response right there. #support small businesses.
It really does make a difference. There's actually a project. It's called, see, it's not project, not political. Okay. Project. Is it?
What just happened?
Hold on. I forgot. It was called 350. There's a thing where they say that if you support small businesses, where you set aside a percentage of your income to support small businesses every month, and there's a breakdown of numbers. I have to find it, but it's something like if you purchase from, you make an effort to purchase from these people, it actually, the money stays in your area. It supports your neighbor. It supports your local businesses, keeps them open, etc. Because look at right now. I know this is kind of going, but Joann's, for example, is going to be closing.
Well, they're closing all their stores. I heard the announcement a few days ago.
Yeah, we have fabric at our store. We have been selling fabric for years. We have been we sell all sewing notions. So with Joann's closing, we're actually going to start carrying some basic sewing notions at our store for people that sew, because then basically they're not in trouble where if they say they need to get something, they can get something and they can still sew. Instead of having to put it on hold and starting again later. But anyway. Hey, James.
Yeah.
What's going on with Elk Rec Traders?
All right. We did a show last night. What an interesting week, really. Let me give a few updates here. So with Elk Rec, again, we're just at Village Fest. You can catch us on Thursday nights. We were there last night when the storm came through. And it was supposed to rain in Palm Springs, but then it was supposed to be going out, but it was kind of late. And the weather got interesting as much as it's been, and my camera's just being weird. Come on, angle. We'll go with it. we did the Village Fest, of course, and it started off where it was kind of cold. Then we had a windstorm. Then it sprinkled. Then we had a windstorm. Then the weather was nice. Then we had a windstorm. Then we had a sprinkle. Then we had a windstorm, and then the weather was nice. And that was the whole evening. And people were like rolling with it. Some people left, but fun crowd last night. And the most unique part was we were doing shows and then taking down and driving home during a lunar eclipse. How many of y'all knew that there was a lunar eclipse last night?
I knew there was one, but I didn't get a chance to take a look at it just because.
Gotcha. Oh, I'm going to be showing a couple pictures of it here.
And there was also rain. So, like, it would have been very difficult to see the lunar eclipse last night because the moon was coming and going with clouds.
We had just enough that the clouds parted just before it started.
That's cool.
And so we were actually watching the first shadow go over the moon. We were packing up the booth. And by the time we got home, back to Indio, it was just like 5 minutes before totality. So you had this little sliver of light on the moon. And we get to the segue section for the show. I'll show some pictures, but that was pretty cool. So that's what's going on with Hellcrack right now. Otherwise, stocking up, getting ready. Our first weekend show of the year will be, as of right now with our schedule, Lakeside Rodeo at the end of April. Right now, we're just so busy with spring break at Palm Springs that it's like doing a full-on weekend show as far as just the amount of work and keeping up in stock like that every couple of weeks. So that's what it's going. Plus, booking it and busy with the statistics class for this semester for school.
I
wonder if I should get an opinion or just show a little clip of that.
I think statistics sucks. I think a lot of people don't like statistics.
We'll wait till we get the segue and the updates. I'm going to find out from the audience if I did a video report this week, and let's say it's a little different, and it definitely has echoes of Earl. And I might show the beginning and the end just because it's so different. Audience, let me know if you want to see that. But Svea, hey Svea,
yeah,
what's going on with Dancing Bear?
Oh, okay. Well, we have a couple things going on.
Oh yeah.
One of our customers wanted me to teach a beaded egg class, and next Friday she doesn't live in Escondido, so she's actually going to be in town. So not to compete with Cheyenne's class at all by any means. I'm going to be teaching a beaded egg class on this coming Friday. Signups are on our website. We have Cheyenne Faulkner. She's come on our show before. Her class is coming up on Saturday, and we really need signups. Right now, we're not meeting the minimum. We need to get a minimum of 4 students to sign up. So we need to get some more students. Otherwise, we're going to have to cancel a class. So I don't want to cancel a class. It's like Cheyenne's first opportunity to teach, and I don't want her to not be able to teach. So if you guys are thinking about taking a class, this is going to be a really fun class. Cheyenne is so nice, and she's really great to work with. And I really want to get this class to happen. I'm just hoping it happens. Additionally, we have a bead netted ornament the following Saturday on March 29th. And then we also are in the planning stages of having a class in July with Birdie Pulskamp. And that class, we're going to have a class minimum of so many people, because we basically need to cover, expenses and fees for the instructors. So that's the biggest thing for these classes. We want to pay the instructors what they want to be paid. So we're trying to create these classes to make that happen. And Cheyenne, she's really great. She's been teaching people for years now on TikTok how to make stuff. And it'd be pretty cool to take a class with her on how to make these earrings. James, I should probably share that actually on our website. So
yeah, go for it. It's I've met Shannon's been on the show. She is such a nice person, really.
Yeah, she really is very nice. Let me get to the class really quick, and I'll show you guys the class information. Okay, I got it loaded. Let's see. Present your screen. Okay. So this is the class. The beaded earrings class with Cheyenne.
That looks like the beginning of the show.
What? Did I not share it?
Hold on.
Oh, I thought I added it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I see it. Okay.
I don't.
Well,
where is it?
You don't see it right now? It says the StreamYard's sharing it right now.
Yeah, it's not popping on my screen. Remember, sometimes we get these weird lags.
Okay, well, I see it. I actually see it on screen, so I'm going to go ahead. So this is our website. If you click classes and calendar, one of the classes available. So I'm just going to click this so you can see it here. You'll see here we have our bead retreat. We have the bead netted class, the bead netted ear, the egg class I'm teaching, ornament. Here's Cheyenne's class. So I'm just going to click this here so you can see it. This are the earrings that we're actually going to be doing. Those are the earrings that Cheyenne made. They're beautiful. And you can pick a few options. You can pick from a black center, a red center, a maroon center, or a turquoise center. And the beads on the outside are going to be the same color. So it will look really great no matter what color you pick. And the class fee is $50, and it includes all of the stuff for the class. So it's a 4-hour class. It includes everything you need to do the class, and it's going to be really fun. I really hope that everyone signs up for it. Like I said, Cheyenne is a wonderful, I think she's a wonderful instructor. She teaches people so much on all the stuff. So yeah, she is really a sweet girl. And she's so positive, and I'm very excited about that. I'm hoping that everyone signs up. So that is right now. Oh, so the other thing I was going to talk about. So I said I was busy. I'm actually in the process of placing a really large order of ribbon. I'm going to be ordering 1.5-inch ribbon in several colors, and I'm ordering like over 100 rolls of ribbon, and I'm ordering it directly from the factory. So I'm excited about that. It's the first time we've done this, and we're planning on doing like a sampler, like a kind of a ribbon kit. So you don't have to buy 100 yards of ribbon for one color. We're going to be doing different sets of ribbon with different color combinations. So I'm excited about that because it's kind of cool. That is what's going on with Dancing Bear, ultimately.
Gotcha. Hurrah. My headlamp flashlight just got done charging because of the flashy light. All right. Over the last week, we've had some interesting things happen the week, and there's some updates. Y'all have met my tortoise, to Paul, our so-called tortoise in our backyard. And she's grown some. She now weighs just over 90 pounds. She's a small dinosaur. And a few days ago, I'm walk over to the kitchen, and she's wandering around the backyard, and she's trying to get this headlamp back in this thing. I can't walk and chew bubble gum, apparently. I'm just going to set it down. So I'm on the phone, get off, and I walk over to the kitchen and catch something in my eye. And I stopped and walked back and went, what and how? Folks, this is what I saw. And I had to walk up to the tortoise and go, how do you do that? How does this happen? This is what I saw. She's high-centered on a cinder block.
And no matter what she did, she couldn't get off.
I just walked out there and I went, I want you to know that I'm going to get you out of this. But I wonder if you even realize how this happened, because I don't know how the laws of physics was designed here. Did an alien come over and just try to kidnap you, go down your heavy and put you down? What does a tortoise think when they're stuck in a position like this? Is there a narrator's voice that comes out and says, you're probably wondering how I got in this situation? Do they cuss? Are they saying, we survived longer than the dinosaurs, and then this happens? And so I walked over and I picked her up, all 90 plus pounds of her, set her on the ground, and she stood there like, it's over. For like a minute, she didn't do anything. She's looking around like, it's over. I'm off this thing. But how?
It's so weird. It's almost like she was walking and was like, oh, that's a big rock in the way. I'll just walk over it.
Look at Maya's response here. All right, first of all, we got to go for Wendy Hodge. She took one athletic leap. Maya, sunbathing on another level. And then back to Wendy. Morgan Freeman narrated in her head. So that's what happened. Crazy. All right. Promised pictures of the lunar eclipse. Okay.
Yes.
I've got 3 pictures to share. 2 I took and another one that is a first ever of something like this. It's pretty amazing. Okay. These are 2 pictures I took of the lunar eclipse last night. Ours from Earth. Look at it. This is with the cell phone. It is what it is, but especially that one on the lower right, you get it's decent for a cell phone. I'm standing there holding my phone as quick, in my driveway, right as we pulled in from Palm Springs, as quick, as slowly as I can. So, considering what it is, decent image. You get some detail there. Now that is looking at the lunar eclipse from Earth. What, Svea?
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered what a lunar eclipse looks like from the surface of the moon?
James, no, yes. I haven't. What does that look like?
Would you like to? You really like to know?
Yes. Why don't you show us all?
That is seriously the Earth blocking the sun from looking from the surface of the moon. I don't remember the name of the company, but there is a private lunar lander that landed, I guess, couple of weeks. And the name's leaving me at the moment, but as the picture of it taking of the Earth eclipsing the sun.
That's cool.
That is awesome. I mean, you can see you can actually see the atmosphere of the Earth in there with some of the blue tinge and whatnot. Mm-hmm. That's just way cool. Obviously, the sun's going to be, the sun's going to be bigger than the sun in the night sky, in their sky from the moon. Mm-hmm. But still, I mean, how freaking cool is that?
Yeah.
So that's a wow. And it's only going to become more common as the future comes, as time goes on. But for now, that's the first one. And dang, that's cool.
That's cool.
All right. So we have an update on bike riding for American Cancer Society, right? 300 miles.
Did you achieve it already?
Huh?
Did you achieve it already?
Oh, Lord, no. That's a long way. I've had to take a couple of days off just because of the weather we've had, the wind the last few days.
James, wait, no, you're supposed to be riding in the rain, wind, sun, everything, not just like when you're
Oh, I sure as heck did Wednesday. Yesterday was Palm Springs. I had too much work to get done, and today priority was getting that report done for the statistics class.
I'm just giving you a hard time because it's fun.
Oh, you totally should. So I did able to go out and ride about 20. I did like 10 or 15 miles Saturday last weekend. I did 25 miles on Sunday. Went out Dillon Road with a 1,600 foot elevation gain. That was a grind, and a couple more times this week. So here's the official update of where we're going, and I'm actually probably about 22 miles under where I wanted to be for this time of month. So I've got to make it up. So I'm approaching halfway. But folks, here is the update. There is the maps of the days I've rode, whatever. And I missed the first couple of days of March. And so far, 128 miles biked so far in the Cycle 300 Miles Challenge for the American Cancer Society. And we've had a donation. Usually people, when you start getting close to like 300 miles, then people start noticing going, hey, yeah, that's cool, and let's donate. But we've actually had a donation. Our first donation came in a few days ago from El Presidente.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've got the page up now. Maya donated $25. Maya, thank you very much. That is so generous of you. That's amazing. Let me get the link up. So, folks, if you're doing this, and we'll be doing updates every Friday this month, and if you've got me on Facebook, you can see where I update it about once or twice a week, usually about once a week. But here is the link to the fundraising page on Facebook. You can see it on all the links what you see for Elk Crack and Dancing Bear for the Cycling 300 Miles for the American Cancer Society to raise funds. Great charity, great cause.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yep. And I'm going to be going out biking again tomorrow. I'm bike packing tomorrow through Sunday with a fat bike out in the desert. So knocking out more. I'm going out to Painted Canyon for that. So that'll be some cool pictures. Otherwise, that's the update on the bike 300 miles in March challenge so far. Cool stuff. I was going to ask about, see if somebody wanted to see the opening beginning end of the report maybe next week, but it's 10:20, so we got to get on the show topic here.
Really quick, James, I
Yep.
wanted to share this.
Thank you, Maya. That is, I didn't know you were a cancer survivor. That's humbling. That's amazing.
That's amazing. You're a warrior.
Big time.
Okay.
Yeah, it just seems like when I announced I was going to do this back in like mid-February, I've had a few people come up and tell me that they were been recently diagnosed with cancer. So I'm like, I got to do this for them. And I'd clear a month, maybe 400 miles, but March is a stacked month with midterms and stuff. But I'm going to do what I can, as much as I can, without getting arthritic knees. Okay, show topic tonight. We've both had ongoing experiences with parents getting older.
Yep.
And our experience is a bit different, but same on a lot of more broader general levels. And so this is a show that Svea and I've been wanting to do for a couple months. And here we are. This is the night for it.
Yep. So for those of you who don't know, my mom has been dealing with a lot of health issues and since November last year. And we've just been in and out of the hospital, in and out of the ER, back and forth to doctors. I mean, just everything. And there's so much that I've learned and so much that I've experienced that I was thinking that some of the ideas that I've come up with that might help you when you're ready or when you have that problem or that situation with your parents. It's not necessarily the most fun situation, but they need help because they're pretty much at that age where they can't take care of themselves entirely. So it's kind of sad, but at the same time, trying to take care of them and making sure they get all their medicine and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of a lot, but it's, I think a lot of people end up going through what we're going through, and it's kind of interesting to hear what people have to say and different things. So that's why we decided to bring this up today.
Yeah. My dad's getting older. He's the point now that COVID 5 years ago made him older. He was old, but that's when it really caught up to him. And, we've had to, we've all, as we get into our 40s, 50s, we'll hopefully have the conversation with parents about getting older. There's things about, their pride. They've been independent and they're watching them lose their independence one piece at a time, being health or the biggest significance, driver's license.
Yeah.
And some are more accepting, some were very prideful. And it's one piece at a time until we get to the point that we're taking care of the parent. Yeah. And it only gets harder as time goes on until they're not there anymore. Mm-hmm. And so, we've got a whole list of stuff, and Svea and I talked earlier about an outline. I don't know where you want to start with this.
Did you want to work with that one outline that you created, and then let's just kind of use that as a template?
Yeah, I think so. We did that. Thank you, ChatGPT. So what we have right here is we created this outline, and it's, there's so many things we want to touch that it's hard to organize the thoughts. So ChatGPT helped in kind of organizing this. And right now it says, welcome audience and introduce topic. We've done that. Share a relatable anecdote or static about the increasing number of adults caring for elderly parents. Well,
Janet.
Done that.
That's us. So, my mom, she's in her late 70s. And my mom, when she had us, she had me, she was already kind of late for her age. So that's something that's interesting, I guess.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm like 25 plus 25, and my dad's going to be turning 85 this June. My mom's already in her late-ish 70s. Mm-hmm. And y'all met my mom. She's going to be going, if there's anything like the women on my mom's side of the family, they keep going till they're almost 100 years old. Mm-hmm. And they keep going strong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different with her, but she's having to do more of the elder care of me somewhat. On
Mm-hmm.
this one, it's still there, and they're still being left alone or finding people to cover it. So that one, uh, we're in the same boat. My dad is not as dependent as Svea, as Chris is, my Svea's mom. So, but the times are coming, and it's something we talk about. The outline is discussion emotional transition from being a child to becoming a caregiver, because ChatGPT did a really good job on this one. A child to becoming caregiver.
It's kind of hard because you basically have always, relied on your parents to help you. And now it's really the opposite. It's really the opposite. My mom, like, I don't know if it's just she's just getting used to the medications or whatnot, but she she's she just gets a little forgetful about things, and then I have to make sure she gets all of her medicine, and that's very, very, very important because her medication keeps her functioning properly. And her whole life, she's never needed medication like she needs medication. So it definitely is something that is very difficult to kind of help her with because she doesn't necessarily think to take it. And I don't blame her because, like I said, she's gone almost her entire life with not having to take medication that's very reliant on like when she takes it. That's been a real challenge for us.
For her, it's just losing that independence bit by bit like that.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And the
How
thing
much
is,
is the denial you think is in there? Or still, levels of denial.
I don't know about that. I mean, she knows she needs to take her medicine, but I think she's just gotten so used to me saying, "Okay, well, don't worry, I'm going to take care of it," because it's just a lot. I mean, if you see her cocktail of pills that she takes, it's a lot in the morning and the evening. She has so many different pills she has to take. It's like vitamins, it's fiber, it's heart medication, it's blood pressure medication, it's diuretics, it's um, like potassium. I mean, it's a lot of pills, and so we have to mix that with some fiber stuff. So she has to drink fiber liquid to take her medicine. It's just a lot of stuff. So it's almost even so much that I can barely even handle it. I have to look at the list every time. That's how many. Uh, yeah. So and plus
Pharmacology. We're on
And
time.
plus, though, the other thing is that they've been adjusting them. So once I got used to handing out, giving her certain medications, it changed last week. So it's really hard to remember because there's so many. It's just every week or so it changes. So it's like a moving target. Her medication's a moving target right now because they're kind of adjusting her levels to get everything right for her. So it's been kind of challenging. Like I have to take pills out of the container of all the pills she's supposed to get. Those go to the side because it's a new dosage or it's less dosage or God knows what.
My dad and kind of along those veins, except we assume that he takes care of himself. We check it up, but we're just having to discover time goes on how much we're having to manage his own care or just check up on him. He was diagnosed with diabetes a number of years ago. Mostly, he's got it controlled through diet, but he's supposed to check his sugar, do the whole pierce the finger thing. And he says, "Oh, I did it. I did it." We're like, okay. And when we had a health issue here a while back, I went over to look at his test strips because he was down and I wanted to check his sugar. And I look over his test strips had been out of date for 4 or 5 years. And I went across the street to one of my neighbors who's diabetic, borrowed a test strip from them, came back, looked at him, and he never admitted he had to check his blood sugar in years. And, he'll go over and try to eat candy or stuff at the house. We got to hide it or just not even have it at the house. Don't come into my house if you have a sweet tooth. You're not going to find anything. To do that where he's not taking care of himself. Mm-hmm. And even that with his just being such in denial that a doctor told him about his eyesight, and now he's wet macular degeneration. He's largely just got, he's blind in one eye, has pretty good peripheral vision in the other eye, enough. But it's just that denial of his health, saying, oh, I'll be fine. And you're not. And the health conditions you bring on yourself in that way. And it's just the damn pride.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I have to deal with, just the psychology of how to deal with aging parents, is how much are they willing to accept it. Yeah, I had my great grandma, my mom's grandma, amazing person. She died in her mid to late 90s, probably about at this point almost 20 years ago. And she was driving, and when she got back to her, she lived in a trailer over in Cherry Valley next to Beaumont. She came back and saw a dent on her car and doesn't know how it got there. And she goes, oh, and she gave that day, she gave up driving. She says, if there's dents in the car and I don't remember how it got there, I'm dangerous. And she took that personal responsibility to admit that she's going to have to she voluntarily gave up her dependence. And that unfortunately seems to be rare amongst the elder like that they're willing to accept that fact. But she was so pragmatic, it was amazing. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the hard parts, is just getting into having that conversation with parents to get that initial ball rolling. And they're just like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I think that one of the things for us really that made it easy for my mom is that we encouraged her to live with us. I mean, she's been living with us she's been living with us probably almost like 8 or 9 years, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And when she started living with us, I told her, because her house was so cold. And I was like, Mom, why don't you just stay in our second bedroom? Because her house didn't have heating. And that's huge for someone who's older to not have heating in their house. I told her, I was like, Mom, just come live with us in our condo. It's going to be tight, but it's no problem. And then you're not by yourself, live with us. And, she decided to live with us. Right. And it was good, because then she wasn't by herself all the time, because if she was still living by herself, she would be so bored. She would just get depressed. I think she would get depressed if she's by herself all the time. So with her living here, it's just been kind of an easier transition in regards to taking care of her meds or taking care of, different things. I make her breakfast. I make all her food for her. She doesn't cook anymore at all, really.
Can't trust her with the food, with the cooking utensils in the kitchen, or what?
Well, I don't prefer her to cook I don't like her to cook on the stove, because one time she forgot to turn the stove off. So when we got home, it was really gassy in the house, and I turned the fan on. I opened all the windows. I turned the stove off. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse than it was. I mean, luckily, we got home when we did.
Yeah, we had an aunt that used to live that would visit us, and when she's here overnight, she'd go in the kitchen and try to heat up water in the microwave for tea, for coffee, and actually turn on the stove underneath it. I don't know how that happened, and tell us how dangerous our appliances were. I think you broached something on that. Is just, it's a good segue into just having the conversation, which I kind of mentioned a few minutes ago. Yep. Just how hard that is. I think, and then plus Maya's actually got a really good post.
She has a lot of comments. I was going to say we should probably list a few of the comments, because.
Yeah, I'm going to start from the beginning and go back to their comment about Filipino culture, if that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, so many people will not surrender their driver's license. Good on her.
Yeah.
It's a sign of realism.
Yeah.
Well,
James, just think about it. When we get to the age where we are going to have to give up our license, there's already going to be self-driving cars, so we don't even have to worry.
Oh, we're there. No kidding. Wendy Hodge, it's the same with my parents and their meds, especially my dad. Yeah, I've talked to Wendy. You're on a lot of meds. I've got some friends whose parents I'll visit, and they're just like this cocktail stuff they got to do. Take this for this, this for that, this to counteract that, this to counteract that, and still end up with diarrhea and upset stomach.
I know.
Yeah,
so,
definitely adjustment for everyone. Oh,
yeah, that was kind of funny.
Let's get rid of this one from Maya right here. In the Filipino culture, the parents take care of the kids, and the kids are supposed to take care of the parents when they age.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's true of a lot of cultures, definitely. Definitely your Middle Eastern cultures, Hispanic culture, Asian cultures. I think you think it's mostly just a Western society thing in the United States that kids are so busy, parents get put in nursing homes and they never, the kids never visit or call. I wonder if that's just a specific thing to the United States or Western culture, Western countries. I don't know. Folks, if you know, let us know.
Yeah.
But there's, if you've got people with jobs and kids and elderly parents, they just don't have time to juggle all that. Yeah. Or they just don't want to mess with it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel very fortunate that I'm in the situation where I can work from home. I have been working from home almost a month because March was just really a crazy month for my mom health-wise.
Mm-hmm.
She had her heart situation. They changed her blood pressure medication. And then after that, she ended up going in for an emergency sigmoidectomy surgery where they removed the top portion of her sigmoid colon because it twisted from like being a little bit constipated. Sorry, Mom, I'm giving too much information.
Yeah, that was only 2 weeks ago, too.
Yeah, it was only 2 weeks ago. She had a major surgery. She's 78, and having a surgery like that is major for a person her age, and she's going through all the heart things all at the same time. So kind of scary. And it was actually it was exactly 1 week to the day that Dan's mom passed away that my mom was having the surgery. So I was really terrified of this surgery. Like I was so scared because I don't know if you guys know, but last November when my mom went into the hospital at the start of this whole crazy mess of hospital visits and ER visits and all that, Dan's mom also went into the ER the same day. So it was really scary. Dan's mom had diabetes. She wasn't managing it. She had a lot of problems. She had kidney failure. She had liver failure. She had renal failure. She was having ascites. I mean, she was really in a terrible place. So, I mean, she definitely was worse off than my mom. But the problem is my mom and his mom were continually both going into the ER all throughout from November until now. And even Dan's mom went into the ER at the beginning of March. So it's been really rough for us. It's been a really rough 4 months. And when my mom had that surgery, I got really worried. I got very worried. And, I was being told, hey, just go home when she's taking her surgeries, when she's having her surgery, just go home and rest. And I'm like, I'm not leaving here. I ended up just sleeping in a room because I'm just like, I'm not gonna leave because if something happens, I'm 15 minutes away, one way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been hard.
You actually made me think of a point here. I'm going to tack back to go back a little bit to families that seemingly abandon their parents in a nursing home, a skilled nursing facility, whatever, assisted living. As medicine progresses, people live longer. It used to be that people they look really old and were dying in their 60s, early 70s. And now these days it's fairly routine to see people in their early mid 70s out riding bikes, out hiking and stuff like that. The quality of life has gotten better as they get old. But once you start getting 80, they're mid 70s and on, especially 80s, The clocks, there's a lot time less on the clock. And as people learn can live longer after such health crisis as a stroke, heart attack, other diseases that come up, that maybe their quality of life is going down, but they're they're able to live longer with these conditions. And at some point, as the disease or what health condition progresses, that the children who want to take care of the parents with all the best intentions just don't have the skill to do it, don't have the home skills, the ability to be able to care for their parents with those conditions at home. It's just beyond them. Their training, their understanding, all kinds of abilities. And so those parents have to go into a skilled nursing facility, which, let's just say it, folks. I mean, a lot of them are going to have to go to state-run facilities. They suck.
Oh, they're terrible.
They're terrible.
They're really terrible, guys. Just so you guys know, 2 of my grandparents suffered at those spaces. I had my grandfather, he broke his hip, and he was at a care facility because my grandmother couldn't take care of him. Our caregiver couldn't take care of him. I think she probably went to go see him, and I didn't. When that happened, I was working full time in La Jolla. I was working at that jewelry company, and there's no way I could have gotten time off. Like, I couldn't get time off to go see my grandpa, and it was like 2 hours each way. I had to drive to LA, and that's, I wish I went to go see him more, but I mean, I couldn't do anything about that. But and that's essentially though, they didn't give him water because they didn't give him a lot of water because they didn't want him to wet the bed. And he basically died of a kidney infection from a bladder UTI that turned into a kidney infection. He died from that. Ultimately, because they didn't want to clean up his bed because he would wet it. I mean, how crazy is that, right? How crazy is that? And then the other facility my grandmother went to after she was in the hospital, they didn't want her to go home, even though she had a caregiver. They kept her there until they could, the very last moment they could keep her, and they were abusing her. We tried so hard to get her out of there, and they refused to let her go. She had scabies. She had, here's the cat.
Hello, Wicket. Kitty butt.
She had scabies. She had scabies. She had all kinds of skin diseases and all kinds of, I don't even know why that's on there. I think the cat hit the.
I think so. I'm going to throw up Wendy's right quick.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Wait.
There you go. Run up Wendy's.
So
Wendy nailed it.
So the thing is, like, my grandmother she had bruises all over herself. They weren't following the food orders from the doctor. The doctor said to leave the food out. It didn't matter. Just leave the food out. They would take it away within 20 minutes. My grandmother would just graze on her food, and she wasn't eating enough. She was starving. She had teeth fall out of her head because she was starving. She lost so much weight. I mean, all kinds of crazy, right? Her caregiver wasn't allowed to help her because she was not an employee of the facility, and for liability reasons, they didn't want her to touch her. But she was paid to be her caregiver. So, I mean, it was just bad. They wouldn't release her, and not until her funding from Medicare was done did they release her. I mean, it was ridiculous. Like, the whole situation was totally ridiculous. So
it is another prime example of preying on amongst the most vulnerable of the population.
Yeah.
To squeeze that dollar out. And
And
you got to remember, these are people that probably lived their lives, and also probably doing the bash them in the face on that one. But I mean, we should probably steer away from the guilt trips here.
You know what, though? The other thing, though, is ultimately, maybe those people do have the best intentions, but they do not have enough staff to take care of these people the way they should be taken care of. They do not have enough people to take care of everyone in there. And that ultimately is a major problem. And even my mom, when she was just out and she couldn't stand up and she was so weak, the doctor's like, you can't take her home. She's at a risk to fall. She's in a situation where, you can't take care of her alone. She's too weak, blah, 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 blah. And I've agreed. I'm like, okay, fine. She can go to care facility. Which facility do you want her to go to? I'm going to check at the reviews. Right. And they said, oh, this is this facility, right? It's in Carmel Mountain area, which is about 10 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, it's close to you. It's not far. You can go see her. It'll be good for her to be there, right? So then I look at the reviews, and the reviews are like, some of them are okay, but a lot of them are really terrible. And when the doctor left, he's like, it's up to you. When the doctor left, a nurse came in, and she knew how much we're nervous about her going to a care facility, an aftercare facility or a rehab facility. And I said, this is the facility. And she says to me, she looked both ways. And she's like, don't send her there. She said, that's not a good place. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I used to work at Palomar Hospital. And every time any patient came from that facility, we gowned up. We tested them from everything. And 99%, they came in with some crazy thing that was from the environment.
Lack of cleaning, lack of hygiene, lack of sanitary conditions, all along those lines.
Yep.
It's so that was not uncommon, even more during the lockdowns during COVID, which absolutely exacerbated exponentially to the billionth power those problems with a lot of those facilities.
Yeah.
And you had an amazing nurse that luckily wasn't churned to the point of absolute
but she's like, don't tell anyone that I told you. Because basically, if they knew, they probably would really mad at her.
Oh yeah, and then she's got to deal with more crap because administration's always looking for ways to cut, put savings in there and all that. They get awarded if they can do, those saving measures when it should be. And I mean, anything that endangers patient care is intolerable. Unfortunately, that's where you get the cost savings is sacrificing patient care.
Well, this is the thing too. I said to the doctor, I said, I had my grandmother and my grandfather both suffer at one of those facilities. Both of them. And they were different facilities and they were years apart. They weren't the same facilities. They're all totally different ones, right? And I said to him, do you follow up with those patients that you send to those care facilities? Do you follow up with them? And he's like, no. And I said, do you have your parents going to those facilities? No. So when he said those two things, I'm like, yeah, no, it's not even an option.
We've got about 12 minutes left. I think there's a whole host of things we wanted to get to. We know this is going to be a two-parter.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing follow-up in the next few months.
So let me split, because remember, James, I told you I had a few things. Okay, there's a few things that I found that were valuable. Okay, one thing that's valuable is to share, to create a Google document that has the medications that your parents take and share that with people that are important, that need to know that. Because if you need to leave, then you have a shared medical plan for your parents. Okay, so that's one. Secondly, there's a thing called Life Alert. It's like the necklace that people wear where they press a button. There's also iWatches have fall detection. When my mom broke her arm in 2019, I bought her an iWatch and it has fall detection on it. And it has fall detection and it also has a cellular attached to it. So she can call anyone with her watch. She can call 911. She can call me. She can talk to anyone if she needs to, if she's fallen and she's wearing her watch all the time. Okay. Second, another thing, if they have an iPhone, you can make sure you follow their location on your iPhone so you know exactly where they are at all times. Because, for example, if they get out, they have their phone and you don't know where they are and they're lost, you have their phone, where their phone is. Additionally, we got my mom a scooter. It's not always good for everyone, because if my mom, for example, doesn't know how to use it very well, so you do have to be careful with that. So many times when I am going with her with scooter, I actually control the scooter so I don't have to push her in a wheelchair, and I'll control the scooter so that she just sits in the scooter, because otherwise it's a lot of pushing and it's heavy. Many times when people get older, just because of balance issues, they actually are eligible to get a placard, like a disabled placard. My mom has a disabled placard from her doctor, basically due to her being unstable. And it does make a difference for her to park closer, especially if she doesn't have to walk so far. That is a big thing. You know what? I think the biggest thing about that, that's not necessarily true. I think that if you have each other looking after each other, I think that is just as good as, that's way better than you're going to get at any of those care facilities. They only see them once a day. That's the only amount of time they're allotted. At the hospital, she'd be visited 2 times a day by the nurse, unless I call the nurse and be like, hey, I need you to change this. Hey, she needs help doing this. They don't help. So if you're checking in on your parent several times a day, even by calling them, that is huge. Another thing I have, you're going to laugh. I have the Ring cameras, and I actually have one on my mom, and I call it the mom cam. So
good description.
When I am away and I've been telling her that she has to get up every hour and walk or move or do something, every hour her alarm goes off on her phone. She has to do some kind of activity. I said, I don't care if you're getting up and going to the bathroom. I don't care if you sit in your chair and just, move your legs, but you have to do it 20 times with each leg, 20 times with each arm. And I said, you need to be doing something physical every hour. And so today she was sneaky, and I looked on my camera and I noticed she didn't get up at 3. And so I called her and I said, Mom, you have to get up every hour. And so at 3, she got up and went at 3:30, she went and got to the bathroom, and then she sat down. At 4, I called her. I said, you need to move. And so I watched her on the camera, and I saw her move her legs. So
really?
Yes. Oh, I told her, I said, I can see you. I can see you're not doing that. You need to move. So, a camera at home can help, and a call, a camera and a call. And when I know that I am, because I'm feeding my mom, so I have some snacks and different foods that are like kind of quick if I don't have time to make her a whole breakfast and everything. I have a whole bunch of like kind of snack foods, or kind of like kiddie foods. She likes them, so that's been really helpful. But definitely, ask your friends for help. Because like I have a friend who, when she knew I was away for the day, like Dan and I have been taking a trip for just Dan and I to Disneyland, just to kind of run around and have some fun and try to escape what's going on with our lives, because it's been kind of really crud the last like 3-4 months. My friend, she called my mom a couple times during the day and just chatted with her. And I've been asking my mom's friends to call her. So my mom's friends have been calling her, and she talks with them. And I think it's been very helpful for her.
Yeah.
I think that's majority of the things that we've been doing. Oh, and then also my mom has to have a probiotic. So adding it to the mix of all of her pills.
It's got electrolytes.
No.
Idiocracy reference.
I know.
I'm looking at the outline here of just other things we're going to bring up, because we definitely want to do a part 2 to this in the next few months. Stuff we want to get to tonight, folks, was just it's so much to get to in just 35, 40 minutes. Is stuff like family dynamics, we mentioned having the tough conversation, handling disagreements with siblings, and about caregiving responsibilities. That's one that could sneak up on you bad. That can rip families apart. That can make pettiness become major Grand Canyon sized problems. A role of professional mediators and counselors. I think because there's always one in every family that just having the conversation with your parents. I remember it's called the 40-70 rule. Their parents in the 70s, you're in your 40s, time to have the conversation. And then there's with your siblings. And if you're the rare condition where all the siblings are all on par and all on the same level, it can work. But still, I've experienced a little bit of this. When you've got a parent that is having a health crisis, the second guessing of the child that's there taking care of it, and one's guessing from afar, can sure throw a monkey wrench in relationships big time. Yeah. And that, and just the financial stuff, the watching out for them if they're going to fall for a financial scam, which we were talking about earlier this evening.
Oh, so another thing is that it's seniors are constantly being preyed on. So yeah. I actually changed her settings on her phone so she doesn't receive any phone calls outside of her call list. So all of those calls that happen, they all go to voicemail immediately. The phone doesn't even ring. And that's been really wonderful that I have that setting that I can do that, because after in November, she actually almost fell for a scam on Instagram. It was preying on seniors and talking about how seniors get free money, grocery money every month. And she's like, oh yeah, it's like free money for groceries. And I qualify because I'm a senior and it's through Medicare. And I was like, that's weird. And then she said, and then I come home after going and exercising for my own self-care. I come home and I hear her and she's about to give her social security number over the phone. And she thought it was real. And I told her, I said, Mom, no. Let me see this website of what you're looking at. Let me look at it and make sure it's real before you do anything, because it looks good, but is it really real or is it a scam? Yes, so you'll be happy to know that after the Long Beach powwow, I went and had a 1-hour massage where they focused on my shoulders so I could feel better. Thank you, Marilyn. I will tell her. I appreciate your kind words. But yeah, they scam. They scam after her, and she signed up for some subscription she didn't even know she signed up for. I was like, what the heck is going on? And so, yeah, I was checking through her emails. I'm like, what is this email? So I canceled that within a heartbeat. I have to just double check her. Bank account and make sure there's no weird fraudulent stuff happening. But yeah, they took my mom's identity was compromised back in 2017, and every so many years, things pop up, and we have credit card use that's not authorized on our cards. I don't even know how they get into it, but
that's kind of fits in the psychology of things a little bit, is looking for the free stuff. One of the big factors is somebody, and I don't want to start on the technical parts about dementia, Alzheimer's, and just getting old and old brain trying to work, is they're hoarding, the tendency to hoard money, and then get a credit card thinking, well, I can just make minimal payments and I can have this pile of cash, when the math does not support that. And they just hear free stuff, free resources, and go, oh, good, I can save money. and that kind of mentality rolls over. I mean, we don't have the time for me to get into that, but it's just that kind of things that we want to address in another future show on that, especially the stuff. Folks, I am actually putting together. Let me confirm the page here. I am. Wow. Okay. I just accidentally deleted the page, but I have the link. Let me do a copy paste real quick. Bear with. Um, okay. There is a website called seniorlifestyle.com, and they actually have a article. I've been cruising it through it before the show and a little bit during, with a list of links, signs of caregiver burnout lists to help people, checklist for caregivers, checklist uh, for children taking care of their parents, and a list of links, most importantly, to a great number, about 1, 2, 3, 40 links
Oh,
to
wow.
different websites that have resources, information, everything from financial to social services, Medicaid's on there, on how to work with this, with resources for people who are in this exact situation that Svea and I have been sharing about. And here is the link right now that is going up to all our feeds that do that.
Yeah, we got a weird spammer here.
Yeah, I see that. Well, we're making it big. We got ourselves another troll. Wow, dude, it has to be on Stitch or Twitch too,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Twitch, yeah.
So anyway, we got those links up there for you to check out for those sources to do it. Just preliminary going over. It's got some good stuff, good links out there. One on one list that'll save you a search, and they put in perspective for you. So definitely part two. So many things to talk about on this, and it's 11:02.
Yeah, so just make sure to have that conversation with your parents. Start that conversation with your parents because that's very important, especially because right now they probably are a little more clear minded than they'll be in like 5 to 10 years. So just, it's unfortunately, this is a part of life, and it's definitely important to have all this kind of information planned a little bit. We already had planned a little bit that mom was going to be staying with us and we'll be taking care of her. So I'm really glad that we already started that. And it was very easy for her to transition living with us already because she's here. So like if this happened to her and she wasn't living with us, then it would have been very difficult. She would have to just give up so much stuff. And at this point, she's already changed a lot in her life anyway.
Yeah.
So it would have been really difficult for her if she lived on her own and she had to like basically move out of her house, get rid of it, sell it, but all that kind of stuff at that age. I mean, right now she's not going to have to worry about that. I have to worry about it.
Okay.
But anyway, that's it. And it looks like we're like really at the end of the day, after the day.
We really are. I just want to, if I could do a couple follow-ups when it comes to like scammers and whatnot. Well, I can say one thing about my dad as he gets older. His BS detector is pretty good. And like a prime example is this afternoon, we had somebody coming over trying to say, we have a truck in here, but we're going to be coming around. We want to talk to you about solar. That's scam. And all I know is that when the phone rings or there's some knock at the door, we send my dad because he takes particular pride in talking their ears off and just stringing them along. He is good at that. And the other part is, as parents get older, they're going to have their quirks. You have to live with it. Folks, remember who I live with? Crazy cat lady.
Yeah.
Crazy cat lady.
You're going to have even more crazier cat lady.
As she gets older.
Yeah.
There'll be more cats. And pretty soon, consider my mom and animals, I may walk in one day and find her come over and petting and purring a lion. A wild lion. It's like, how did it get there? It's like the tiger in the bathroom on
The Hangover.
The Hangover. Thank you.
It's like, oh, this cat needed a home.
We're talking about somebody that can come over and lead a grizzly bear, a wild ass grizzly bear by the ear and go, eat out of this bowl, sir. You just say, look at my kitty. I'm going, the claws are that big. Okay. We good?
Yep.
Okay. We do have one final comment from El Presidente. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and take care. Thank you, Svea and James, for a very important and informative show. Good to know all of this. Thank you very much, Maya. And you're welcome. So we are live next week. We're going to save the show subject for surprise.
Yeah, we surprise everyone with all kinds of surprises.
All kinds of stuff. So, yeah, but yes, we are live next week. Unless there's like the sky is falling or something like that. I will be on location in another place. I'll be kind of semi on the road next Friday, but be fun. I'll be doing the show from the cab of my truck again. But all's good.
Okay.
And Svea, knock, knock.
What?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The end of the show.
The end of the show. Who?
I don't know a punchline. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, let me cue it up. Video file. Go over here. Look for There it is. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Good night, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Remember, we're live next week. Awesome stuff. Whatever age you are, 30 is the new now. Whatever age you are, the new 30. Punching you. React to it.
Oh, ain't he cute?
Good night,
Seriously.
folks.
Seriously, we need to get rid of the end. I don't like him. We should take a vote and ask if they like to see him every time at the end of the show as the last image on their mind.
Yeah, if we set up a Google Docs, all of a sudden it's like, we have 500 viewers named Svea? Good night, folks.
Good night, everyone. Bye.